Welcome to the Tom Bernard Podcast with
co-host Kathryn Burtt
Andy Bernard
and Kristyn Burtt.
And Kristyn Burtt, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, one thing I do want to mention before we kick in the show full gear is people are leaving me messages on social media and all that stuff. If you have someone that you'd like to hear on the show or see on the show, please send a message to us because we'll track them down. Like we have three great guests today. Well, you're not really a guest, Kristyn.
She's a regular.
She's a regular.
Part of the crew,
exactly.
Part of the ship.
But yeah, if there's somebody you want to have on the show, we will reach out to them and get them on the show and that kind of whole situation. They're already talking a lot about, who's running for the United States Senate, Kristyn?
No, who?
Michele Tafoya.
Is she actually? I haven't heard anything about
U.S.
this.
Senate.
Huh. Interesting.
Yep. She just filed, apparently.
She just filed.
Interesting.
So I could be in a situation, even though I didn't do it, I could be in a situation where a United States Senator blames me for getting fired. What do you think?
Michele Tafoya.
Yeah.
Are you sure she did that?
Oh, I know she did that.
You're sure that's real?
Yep. Well, I said.
Hey, Michele.
It's fine.
Do you think that Tom got you fired?
Yeah, there you go.
Should I ask her?
No, we should probably ask her if she wants to be on, though, because if she wants to run for
and then you
US
can
Senate.
confront her.
Listen,
Oh,
you
yes.
sister.
Let's ambush her.
Let's do ambush journalism.
That's what you
That
want.
always goes well. It goes so well.
That's what you want to do. Ladies and gentlemen, Kristyn Burtt Entertainment News brought to you by North American Banking Company. Go to nabanco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, equal housing lender. I love the fact that some people started out as listeners. Now they want to appear on the show, which I think is wonderful. That whole thing, that's great. I love that. So, Kristyn Burtt, what is the latest?
This is a story that I totally forgot about, and then I had to cover it, and it's so funny. It's been over 30 years. Mary Jo Buttafuoco.
Mm-hmm.
Amy Fisher. Joey Buttafuoco. Do you
Joey
believe that we are
Buttafuoco, yeah.
revisiting that story?
That's a while ago.
Was that what was the story? I can't remember the backstory.
Okay, so let's go back.
Yeah.
It was 1992.
Okay.
It was like the height of like tabloid TV shows and things like that. So it kind of hit in that sweet spot, like right before the OJ era, of course.
Okay.
Amy Fisher, and I don't even want to say this because this is how we've framed this all along. We say Amy Fisher was having an affair with Joey Buttafuoco, but she was 16. So it was statutory rape and he did time for it.
Oh my God.
So
Okay.
Joey was sexually abusing Amy Fisher. Amy Fisher became obsessed with Joey after he broke off things with her. I broke off again, like a weird, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
But she then went and shot his wife, Mary Jo, in the face, and she was paralyzed.
God.
Do you remember this? And then they wound up doing like
Yep.
3 different, she was called the Long Island Lolita.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, just like to refresh people's memory. And they did 3 different movies, TV movies, about her being like this seductress, which is crazy to think about now. Like Drew Barrymore played her in one movie, Alyssa Milano played her in another movie, and all of these movies did really, really well, which is crazy to think about too now. Mary Jo stood by his side through all of this. He served 4 months in jail for statutory rape. Amy Fisher, I believe, served about 7 years for the shooting. But Mary Jo stayed married to him. They moved out to Los Angeles for a while, and then he was arrested for prostitution or solicitation of prostitution.
Jesus. Okay.
Yeah, but she's now telling her side of the story because she never told her side of the story. They did divorce, by the way, and she had a reconstructive surgery. Her face used to droop on one side because on her left side, actually, because of the bullet still lodged in her neck.
Oh my God.
I know. But she looks really good now. It's really amazing how plastic surgery has
looking
come so
good.
far. They were able to really help her out with that. But she's told her side of the story. It's airing on Lifetime right now. It's I Am Mary Jo Buttafuoco. And it's really interesting from her perspective, like why she stayed, what her beliefs were at the time, what she thinks now. Amy Fisher wound up moving into adult movies at a certain point.
Of course she did.
Of course she did.
Of
yeah.
course.
Jesus.
Yeah. And, what she thinks of Amy, what she thinks of Joey, it was kind of an interesting perspective. And, you sit there and think, why did she want to revisit it 30 years later? I mean, she does have a memoir out, so she's got books to sell. But it was interesting to look back on all these years later and realize how poorly we framed it in the media
Yeah.
in 1992.
Sure.
And married Joe at the time because she was defending her husband. She became, we started, the media started blaming her for the whole thing happening. When you're like, wait a minute, she got shot in the face. Her husband was, was acting inappropriately and went to jail. I mean, it's wild. It's wild.
So why was this a nationwide story? Were they famous before this all happened, or are they famous because of the story?
Famous because of the story.
Oh, okay.
He was a Long Island mechanic. I mean, they were living a good life out in Long Island. He led a very, he was flashy in his own way. So I just think it had all of the beginnings of that tabloid journalism of like the flashy auto car owner, auto car repair owner, they dubbed Amy Fisher Long Island Lolita.
Right.
They framed it as an affair. Again, this was rape.
Yeah.
She was 16.
Yeah.
And she was also working as an escort at 16. Like there was just like a lot of sordid parts to the story.
Long Island, get your act together.
Oh my
Yeah.
God. And and Amy actually she had like a rough life growing up, but she came from a well-off family. Like it wasn't just like, she didn't have access to like all of the best education, or it was just that her family life had been falling apart. And her parents just kind of,
Yeah, well, we see this, the rape gangs, the grooming gangs, as they call them. I mean, young girls are susceptible to flattery and being treated
Yep.
like a grown-up and being told how sexy and wonderful they are, and
no one's
they fall
parenting
into
them.
traps. Yep.
If they're not being parented, and
Yep.
yeah, it's hard.
They
It's
get
hard.
baited, and they don't, they get into situations that are beyond their
Really scary,
understanding.
honestly.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
What does this mean? Couldn't Tony just be on the couch, just hanging about, not doing any interviews?
Oh, somebody mentioned that Tony Lee should come on the show, and then there was a conversation about he had as a non-compete and
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah.
Oh, yeah, he does. Yeah. I've known Tony for about 40 years, something like that.
Yeah,
Been a long time. One thing I do want to mention that you're talking about this whole thing, how different people's lives are, because we grew up so poor. I mean, we were destitute. And I promised myself at 16 years old, that's what popped into my head, that I would not have sex with anyone until I was 21 or 22, so I could at least get started on a career.
Well, that's a mature decision.
It is a mature decision, but it worked out very, very well, because I know a lot of guys that ended up getting married at 18 years old. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
And
Back in the day.
you're never going to succeed when you're
That was that
bringing
era.
Yeah.
Get married right out of high school or right out of college, and
None for me, thanks. Yeah, I literally held off. I mean, there were obviously some young women, or girls, I guess they would have been back then, because I was only 16, 17 years old, but very attractive. But I went, I will ruin my life. If I end up having a baby at 16 years old, 17 years old, I will never get out of here.
it changes the trajectory, because then you have to
Yep.
be focused on the
Yep.
child and making sure that you're providing for them. It's a lot.
Well, and then, Kathryn and I get married, then Andy ruins it by coming along,
You're just
Way to
ruining
go,
it right
Andy.
now.
No, the decision to have children.
We did. We made a nice decision.
Tom
on
made a
both
mature
of them.
decision. Well, that was the one and only time. So
That I did?
It was a long time ago.
What are you talking about?
even a broken clock is right.
Oh my God, boy! Look at the time. This is why I didn't want to get anybody pregnant. Right there, right there.
I had
Okay.
kittens instead. I had a litter. I had two.
Yeah, there you go. And if look, you wanted to get married at 18, that's your business. I'm not saying that's a mistake. For me, it would have been a bad idea, because I would have never gotten off Plymouth Avenue.
Yeah.
It's just the way it is.
What if you
the way
married
things go.
like older rich woman?
Yes, absolutely.
There you go.
No, it's funny. We were watching Landman the other night.
Oh,
and
God,
it's
what a
just,
great show.
You think about it. Depending on where you grow up, your whole life can be around
Yep.
some sort of industry
Yep.
or some
Yep.
sort of social, bucking broncos. I mean, it depends on where you grow up, how everything turns out for a person most of the time.
Other thing about Landman, that cast is about as good as it gets. My God, that cast is phenomenal from top to bottom. It's wonderful. Don't you think?
Yeah, Taylor Sheridan's really able to attract top-notch
Yeah.
talent for his
Yep.
shows, which is fantastic. And I love that he's attracted a lot of people who have only done film for a majority of their career and brought them to television.
My favorite line so far. What did we in season 3? Is that we're a Landman season 2 or 3?
This is Landman season 2.
Season 2. Okay, but there is going to be season 3, right?
Correct.
My favorite thing is when Billy Bob Thornton gets in an argument with his dad, played by one of the great actors of all
Sam
time.
Elliott.
And he goes, well, why don't you just shut the hell up before I kick your ass? He's always yelling at somebody. I love him. He's
again,
Sam
great.
Elliott's such a good actor.
He is. God, he's
I loved him
wonderful.
in Mask. That is one
Yep.
of my.
Yep.
He and Cher together were amazing in that movie.
Indeed. I guess his health is not great. That's what I've heard anyway.
Well, how old is he?
Well, he keeps saying he's 80 in the show, and I don't know if that's
He's
true.
81, so
81, so there you go.
81. What is this show that you and the chat keep talking about, Kristyn?
Oh, it's Traitors. Everybody loves Traitors.
Yeah, everyone's talking about it on the chat whenever you're there.
Yeah, yesterday they were talking about it when Kostaki was on, and today they're talking about it because we were talking to Donna Kelsey, obviously. Jason and Travis Kelsey's mother is on Traitors, or spoiler alert, was on Traitors, and
Uh-oh.
yeah, and she was just terrible. She was just terrible at the game. This is a game of strategy, and you really have to, whether you're a faithful or whether you're a traitor, you really have to play your cards right. And people would come up to her because you have to kind of discuss like who we're going to vote out, and she'd be like, "Well, I don't know. I just need more information." I'm like, you can't just shut everyone down and just play no game at all because that's
Right.
not a strategy. And so she was outed and voted out, and I was like. I think that the show cast her obviously for the headlines of it all, and she just really turned out to be such a dud of a contestant and kind of like a waste of a spot. So
what? It's like Among Us, but a show?
it's like Murder. Have you ever played?
Oh,
those?
like, I mean, I like the old murder mystery parties that people used to have.
Not murder mystery. You're kind of like you're hiding. Like there are in the show. Usually there's 3 to 4 traitors, and the traitors are trying to murder people, or assassins probably, maybe
Oh,
another
right.
word.
Okay,
Have you ever played
yeah.
assassin? Yeah. So you're trying to vote people out, and whoever, like, and there's certain challenges, and you earn money, and it's like, who's going to win the jackpot at the end of this series? Is it going to be the traitors? Is it going to be the faithfuls? Who wins out in the end? So far, the Faithfuls have been winning over the last few seasons, but it's really a compelling show because they bring in diverse personalities, mostly from the reality show landscape, but it's a pretty fun watch. Alan Cumming is the host, and he plays into this character, and everything is like, murder. So it's like an over-the-top
There you go.
campy character. He's won a couple of Emmys for it already. He's fantastic, and I think without him, it probably wouldn't be as compelling as it actually is. He's also executive producing the show.
See, I'm in a great mood, and I'm really glad this was posted, but I kind of fell out of my great mood and feel sad right now. Louis Anderson died 4 years ago
Yeah.
now. Louis, why
It's
the hell
really
did
been 4 years already? Jeez.
Yeah, 4 years he died.
Yeah.
He was one of the great. That man treated my mother like she was the queen of Sheba.
Yeah, he liked a mommy.
Oh, he liked having a mommy.
He did like mommies. He didn't like daddies.
I did not like daddies. That's true. That's very true. But Louis, we love you. We miss you. God, it was fun. Andy, you must have loved that as a little kid, having a movie star and a big comedian and all the rest
I
of it
don't think
coming
they
out.
realized
Did you
how
not realize?
famous he
Not until
was.
much later, no.
Oh,
Yeah, we were. You were watching some clip with what's his Steve Harvey, Family Feud,
Yeah.
and I was like, did Louis host that show for a while? I mean,
Yeah,
it's been
he
that
did.
long. He did a lot of stuff throughout his career that I had forgotten about because he was around for so long.
Yeah.
First thing I ever heard Louis Anderson say to my lovely wife, Kathryn, is, Kathryn, don't you think Tom's kind of self-involved? It's like, thanks,
To
Louis.
be fair, he said, like we all are in the industry.
Oh, I didn't hear that part. Louis, we love you and we miss you, pal. That's all
I used to
have
love
say.
his cartoon. Was it
Oh,
Little Louie?
Life with
Little
Louie.
Louie.
Louis.
Life
Yeah,
with Louis.
Yeah,
Life
Life
with
with
Louie.
Louis.
Yep.
Life with
God,
Louie.
he was wonderful.
Yeah, he was one of those comedians that got his start on the Carson show.
Yep.
Yeah.
He did. He
Back
did
in the
indeed.
day.
Yeah,
when-
back when that meant everything. When he
meant
called you to
everything.
that couch, that was a really big deal for your career.
Oh, no question about that. But
No.
that's one thing we can all be very happy about because we were all involved in it. To be involved with that many, I mean, how many hundreds of famous people have been on the show over the years and all the rest of it. To be exposed to that kind of thing is so wonderful, and Kristyn must be really somewhere you live. It's got to be nonstop, I would imagine.
Yeah, it definitely is here.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. I could see that. It just, but oh God. Now people are going, oh God, that's terrible. Yes, it is terrible. Louis, damn it. That's all I have to say. Damn it, Louis.
Well, Margaret
I
said
know
her
time goes
dad
by so quickly.
her dad died the same day as Louis.
Oh God.
wow.
Yeah.
Oh God.
So January 21st, fun day for everyone.
I guess so, but we were blessed to know him, and many, many other people. Unfortunately, it just it happens, right?
Yeah, that basket's really revived his whole.
Yeah.
He had been having,
Yeah.
his Vegas shows weren't doing all that great anymore, and he was at one time he was considering moving back to Minnesota
He was, yeah.
to be around family, and he was really basically his career was on the skids, and then baskets came around
Yep.
and just gave him such an opportunity, and he was so good at that. He was so great at that role.
Unbelievable. An hour later, my mom called about my dad.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, Tom announced about Louis on his show, and then about an hour later, my mom called about my dad. So yeah, she was listening to the KQ Morning Show, and
yeah, it's hard to believe it. Has it been 4 years since you've been on KQ?
3.
No.
3.
Yeah, it's
Now,
at least
that seems
3.
like forever ago that you were on the KQ.
It
Morning
kind of
does
does at
now,
this
yeah,
point,
to
doesn't
me,
it?
it really does. It's like 10 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely right. And what's so interesting is if you count the months or how many points they've dropped in the ratings,
God, it's bad.
we had a 40 share. They now have a 1.
Yeah, I mean, but that's
Nice
radio in
choice.
general.
That's-
I mean,
yeah.
out here, I always talk about
Yeah.
KFI because that was like one of the top.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I mean, talk show teams with John and Ken, and Ken retired, I think, and it's a shell. Like the whole station's like a shell of its
Yeah.
former self. It's just, I think so much when they start laying off certain personalities and
Yes,
the executives
absolutely.
get in there and go, we need to tool with this and change this. People don't like it. They want to hear the same
Right.
routine. You go to work every day, your morning drive.
Yep.
You go home, afternoon drive. Like when they start fussing with it, it's not the same.
No, it's absolutely right. But there are still people, I suppose, 55 plus that want to listen to the radio. Because I mentioned once in a while that nobody listens to the radio, and they call me and go, yeah, I still do. Absolutely. People reach out to me and tell me they still do listen to the radio because
I
they
listen
just
to
got so used to it.
podcasts, Yeah.
Yeah, no, I understand. No question about it. But it's just, I wonder what's next. Andy, you'd probably know more about that. Okay, so it was radio, and now it's podcasting. What's next?
I think podcast
be-
is going to be around for quite some time. It's such a broad genre. I mean, like a podcast
it is.
isn't like a radio show where you sit down and you're broadcasting through the air, and that's what makes it a radio
Yep.
show. I mean, you can put video content out, audio content out. As long as you call it a podcast, it's a podcast. So,
Right.
And if Netflix is diving deeply and investing in podcasts right now, they have them on the show. They've just announced like another wave of like podcasts that they are picking up. And, Netflix is a Joke, which is their big comedy festival. They're doing a lot of live on-site podcasts during that festival, which I believe is in May. And so I always look to Netflix because Netflix is the disruptor. So what they're investing in is kind of the next wave, and everyone follows suit.
yep.
Well, it's interesting you bring that up because apparently Netflix was reaching out to me 3 years ago, but then the fine people who ran KQRS started announcing that I had retired. So they never followed through on it. So in other words, I didn't get
You should've
fired.
called them.
I retired.
Yeah, it's up to you to call them.
You didn't
No,
have a
it's not.
non-compete when you left, did you?
No, I did not. No.
Which is very strange that they didn't. But
Well, they were busy just getting drunk,
Takes
Well,
a
they
lot
were.
of time.
I'm sorry. There's some booze hounds over there,
Boo!
man.
Oh no, not the booze
Booze
hounds.
hound.
Not the booze hound.
I've been called a booze. I wonder how many times, if we could ever count, how many times I got called a booze hound by Tom, which is hilarious. Like,
yeah,
it's
well,
not
you know how
offensive.
it is. If he's not making fun of you.
What?
He doesn't like you then.
He doesn't like me. I know.
Oh, that
I
is very
know.
true. If
I mean, the
don't
amount I
insult-
drink. You know when they ask you at the doctor and they're like, "How often do you drink?" And I'm like, "Well, like once a quarter, maybe."
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
like one glass of okay, and they're like, "You don't really drink that." they don't even want to hear about. I'm like, maybe sometimes 6 months go by.
Yeah, it's medically irrelevant.
Yeah.
We're just talking about that. The fact that Andy on down that age, they do not drink very much.
My
at
age
all.
still does. We're like the
Really?
last whole. I mean, because my age was like the whole hipster wave. So
Oh, that's true.
everyone my age is drinking craft IPAs and scotch and that sort of thing. The hipstery
They're not
drinks.
getting hammered.
That's true.
Yeah, millennials were really, it was like the mom wine era, you know, like
Yeah.
mom
Yep.
juice and a
Yep.
lot of
Yeah.
that. But Gen Z is not drinking.
No, not at
They're
all.
just high off their ass on marijuana products.
Got to have something, I guess.
I
Tomato,
wonder if that's
tomato.
actually true. Like, is there any data on, like which generation gets high the most frequently?
Oh, I'm sure there is data on it.
I wonder, or is
absolutely.
Gen Z just straight edge?
Doubt it.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what the situation is, but thank God people aren't driving drunk anymore very much.
I don't know
Not
if
like they
driving
used to.
high is any better, but
Well, no,
not a
that's
lot.
true. You're right about that.
No, it's crazy when someone gets a DUI now. I'm like, dude, there
Yeah.
is Uber, there is Lyft. You can
Right.
even do an old fashioned taxi.
Yep.
Insane
oh, I
at
know.
that
There's,
point.
I mean, there's been people that there was a very famous case down here where there's this billionaire guy that was driving drunk. Well, first he had a driver. Went out and got hammered. Driver brought him home. Then he decided to bring out his Rolls Royce, and he's
Yeah.
completely hammered. Kills somebody. Goes home. Now he's been in jail for like ever. It's like, why? You've got all the money in the world.
I know.
Awful.
Just
Yep.
make better choices, man.
It's bad enough like driving drunk. It's bad enough driving your car into a pole, but when you take somebody else's life, that is just the next level of hell.
Didn't they have to dig his car out of like a watery ditch or something?
Yeah, well, I don't remember the entire story, but yes, the person who he hit ended up in one of those little canals
Yeah.
and drowned because he didn't help him.
Didn't help him. Yeah, it's true.
Yeah, it sort of sounded like a Kennedy sort of situation.
Well, you know who his buddy was, his best buddy in the world, until, of course, he killed someone, was, what's his name, the great actor? Got the Asian wife that lived in that same neighborhood out there.
Woody Allen?
No, Tom. God, what was it? I can see his face, but I can't remember his name. He's a kind of an arrogant prick. The big time movie star, but we used to run into him over at that one restaurant all the time. Remember, he'd come in there. What the hell?
Oh,
Movie
yeah,
stars
Tommy
with
something.
Asian
He kind of
wives.
had
Tommy Lee
pockmark-
Jones?
Yes.
Tommy Lee Jones.
Oh,
That's exactly who it is. Yep.
He did what?
Well, he was his best buddy.
Oh, he was.
Yeah, he
Oh.
was the best buddy of the
Yeah, I
guy.
think his name was Johnny Goodman. The story was in the papers.
Yeah,
if
I think that's
anybody's
right.
interested in looking up the whole tragic situation.
God, it's unbelievable.
Yeah.
I remember walking past Tommy Lee Jones once in the restaurant, and we had seen him there a few times, but he kind of looked up at me, so I went, hello, and he just looked away. He didn't respond at all.
Well, that whole Wellington area is full of movie stars and
Oh,
children
yeah.
of movie stars and
Athlete.
billionaires because it's all the hunter-jumper world.
A lot of golfers, too, live out in
Yeah,
Wellington.
you have to have a $5 million horse.
Yeah, you do.
Compete.
No question.
Fancy schmancy.
Yeah.
Fancy schmancy is all I know.
Geez, today's the
Tom
Margaret
Hanks.
tragedy cast.
Oh,
Not to be a
What?
wet blanket, but my maternal grandparents were killed by a drunk driver in 1977.
Oh,
Oh,
God.
This is so
That's
sad.
terrible.
Yeah.
Way to
Sorry
go.
hear that.
Kristen's on to, 5 more minutes. It's her fault.
Well,
So, yeah.
when I was a baby, my whole family was hit by a drunk driver.
Yeah.
Yeah. My mom went through the windshield.
Jesus.
I was
Oh, jeez.
It was before car seats. She was holding me. I was
Oh,
that
yep.
little. They didn't know where I was. My mom had blood all over her. My dad's head went through the windshield. And this is, I'm sure,
Oh,
before
geez.
safety glass and all that.
Nobody wore seatbelts.
No,
It was
they did
terrible.
not.
Mhm.
And
You're right.
nobody knew where I was. And I was perfectly, and I was underneath the seat in the front.
It's a
On
good
the
place to
floor.
be, honestly.
I was gonna say that's
I
the
know.
safest place in
They-
those old boats of cars.
Yeah.
I know. My
They were
mom
tanks.
my mom picked me up and she saw that I was full of blood. It was her blood.
Oh,
And
God.
she thought that I was bleeding all over. I mean, it was a drunk driver.
Yeah, and back then those old cars were all steel body, so they didn't absorb
yeah.
impact at all. It was
we
like
had
hitting a
this-
bell with a hammer.
We had this car that was like it was like a tank. It was, We
Yep.
called it the bomb. I don't even know what it was. It was huge. It was gigantic.
They were back then. Yeah,
Remember
they
the
were.
bench seats, and everyone would be like, "Okay, we're
Yeah.
gonna slide up."
Yep.
We had
Yep.
there was a bench seat in the front, bench seat in the back, and I think
Yep.
there was maybe some side seats in the very far back.
Oh,
It
which
was,
were never safe.
It was just gigantic. I don't even think there were seat belts.
What a world.
Everyone rear facing on the old station wagons.
Yeah.
And everyone wanted to sit there, and you're just like, no seatbelts, no big deal.
Well, I remember like a long time ago. It's been a long time, but every so often we used to take a limo to the airport because we wanted to be fancy for a day. And they didn't make you buckle up in those. You were sitting sideways with no seatbelt, surrounded by glass bottles. It's like, can you imagine if one of those got hit? Everyone inside would be dead.
I know they
Yeah.
have those little whiskey service things that
Yep.
nobody ever used.
No,
but
we
were-
never touched them. But like, do they make you buckle up in limos now? I haven't been in a limo in, I don't know, 15 years.
No.
I don't think I've seen a limo.
No,
People
they're not
don't
really a
use
thing
limos.
anymore.
They use Uber and Lyft even
Yeah.
to go to award shows now. I'm thinking, like, when else would you use a limo?
Yeah, they use great big
Right.
huge SUVs. Even limo services have
Yeah,
big SUVs.
That's true.
What about weddings? Are weddings using limos, or are they using like black SUVs?
I think it's still all SUVs.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen a stretch limousine in at least 10 years. I haven't even
Been a
seen
long
one.
Seem
time.
weirdly tacky now.
It feels very
Yeah.
like
Yep.
80s rich guy now, which it
Yeah, even
was.
though they were standard.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
like you go to prom in one. I think I went to prom in one. This was 20 years ago, at least.
Yeah, everyone would rent a limo.
Funny. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I gotta take this call. I'll be right back.
Uh-oh.
Okay.
He's out of here.
All right.
He's like, "See you later."
I wonder what this is all about. Strange.
Mm,
Secret business.
maybe it's his limo. His limo's here to take him to the airport.
Oh God.
You remember when we
That's
used to
so
do that?
funny.
It was every year, like right after Christmas when we were doing J term or whatever. Not J term because we were like kids, but whatever they call it, winter break. We'd
Well,
take,
if you think about it, it used to be like $50 for a limo to drive. you
Yeah,
to
and
as many
parking
people as you
was-
needed to the airport. It
Yep.
was
and parking was like $20 a day, so it's like, why not, right?
well, and they didn't have all the ramps that they have now at the airport. It was really hard to park there.
Yeah, Melissa and I parked in the ramp last year, and it was like literally, you're going to need to like pack some MREs, maybe a hunting knife
Oh,
in case a
no.
bear attacks you, because it's like 3 cities of parking.
And you never know which ones are closed
Yep.
and which light rail station is closed. You never know what's going to happen there. I wish that they had an update so that you would know where to park at the airport
When
because it can be a nightmare.
And I get the future proofing aspect, but it was 99% empty, all of the parking.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Well, they just close them. They
Yeah.
just close them.
but it's like, do we need all
Randomly.
of this? It doesn't seem necessary.
They just make it so hard when you're like, I'm just trying to get to the airport. I'm trying to do it efficiently.
I know.
Yesterday, I had to go after I wrapped up with you guys. I had to go to a studio downtown LA, and it's rush hour traffic. It's only about 20 miles. It can take 2 hours,
Yeah.
honestly, from where I
Easily.
live. Crazy. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to be efficient. I'm going to take the metro. We have a stop not far away. It's free parking. And then you just hop on the metro. I do one transfer and I'm down there. I'm like, this will be amazing. I go to park at the metro station. They're like, parking lot closed for construction. I'm like,
There you
well,
go.
Great. You know, that's exactly it. So I went and parked in a neighborhood, which was totally fine. You know, and it was free parking all day. So I was like, okay, great. As I'm like hopping on the first metro, like another producer calls me. He's like, I need you for another segment. And I was like, oh, okay, great. I'll do it when? And he's like, today. I'm like, well, I'm currently carless because I'm headed to downtown and I know you need me. I was wrapping up at one place at 3. You need to go to the other place. He's like, I will send an Uber to you. That's how
There you
desperately
go.
we need you. So
Oh,
I
nice.
did. I went from the Valley to like Metro downtown, across from downtown to Culver City in Uber. And then they Ubered me back to the train station because I had to pick up my car.
You must
which
have been
took-
on the road for 5 hours.
Oh my
to work
God.
for free.
And it was amazing. So my day, which should have wrapped at 3:00, did not wind up wrapping up to like 7:30 p.m. last night.
And what's the total distance you covered? Like 8 miles?
I mean, it was probably 20 miles to downtown, probably 5 miles between downtown to Culver City, and then another like 12 miles between Culver City and the Valley.
I do that every day, at least.
Yeah,
Then
but
it takes me
you
less
just
than
get
an
to
hour.
Drive. You don't
And it
even have
doesn't-
rush
Yep.
hour.
I'm not going far, but it's taking me.
Yep.
It takes me forever. And the worst part was honestly the trip from Culver to the Valley on the way back home, because that is like the height of rush hour.
Oh, God. Going through
just-
Minneapolis in rush hour, don't even bother. Just cancel your plans. It's not
Yeah,
worth it.
That's
they've
awful.
never increased the roads, and they've needed to do that for 25 years.
That 94, 394 thing that they have, it's like literally, if it's between the hours of 2 p.m. and 8 p.m., like, just stay home. You're not going to get there.
Yeah. And Los Angeles, we had a sort of districting of traffic because of all the fires last year. People were displaced. People moved to new areas because they needed housing, while either they sold their lot or they rebuilt their lot. And so now traffic is kind of constant. It doesn't really end.
No,
It's really miserable.
it is. All right. Should we take a break, or does
I
he need to read
guess.
something live?
We have an
on the-
ad. I can
what's on the run
technically
sheet?
read it live, I suppose, if he's not going to come back.
Okay.
If he's just
I don't think
gone
he's coming
forever.
back.
Well, let me
hear
pull
ya.
it up first before we go to break, so I actually have it. But
Okay.
yeah,
I'll just let everyone know, if you're looking for a new show tonight, Ryan Murphy has a new show out, The Beauty. I think we briefly talked about it with Ashton Kutcher. It's kind of a sci-fi thriller, but about like the beauty industry, aesthetics, how everyone's trying to look perfect in that Ryan Murphy way. So it's on FX tonight, and then it'll be on Hulu tomorrow.
I'm sorry, what's it called?
The Beauty.
The Beauty. Okay.
The Beauty,
All
yes.
right.
Yeah. So,
Okay. Well,
all right. Well, we'll see you tomorrow.
yeah, I'll see you tomorrow. Maybe I'll see
And
Tom tomorrow.
Maybe
Yeah,
he'll
maybe
be
he'll
back
show
too.
up.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess we'll see. But Deaths, we'll be taking a break right now. We'll be back. If Tom's not here, then oh well. We've got a surprise guest with us right after this.
From Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. What's up, Allie?
Oh, not much. Doing my usual thing of telling people they shouldn't be texting and driving. In Minnesota, you can't have your phone in your hands. You can use, hands-free, but you can't have your phone in your hands for whatever reason. And that's why they made the law the way they did, so that police officers could see a phone in your hand and you got no excuse for why you got it there.
Do people know that that's the law?
I hope so. I mean, they used to follow it, and then kind of COVID kind of made people forget. And now it's like a freewheeling world out there with cell phones.
Let's say you get pulled over because you do have a phone in your hand and you're not watching where you're going. You got to be in pretty big trouble then, I would guess.
Well, the first one's not as bad. It's the multiple ones, the problem. And once people start stacking them up, then they have a big problem. And then what we're doing in car accidents is we've started bringing motions for punitive damages, because I'm trying to use the civil law any way we can to stop this, because it needs to stop.
Whenever I'd had any problems in my life, who was that I called again? It was like an MB, something like that.
Bradshaw and Bryant.
Let's take a second to talk about Tom's Bank, North American Banking Company. As a business owner, you're always looking for opportunities to grow, and that's where North American Banking Company can help. Their business banking team offers tailored solutions, whether you're expanding your team, opening a new location, or upgrading equipment. Because they're locally owned, loan decisions are made right here in the Twin Cities, which means faster approvals and more flexibility to meet your needs. If you're ready to take your business to the next level, why not bank with my friends at North American Banking Company? Visit nabankco.com to learn more. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender. Hello. Tom is not back, but who's that there?
yeah. Oh, well.
We
can
got
muddle on about him.
Louisville Joe with us on the podcast. Whoa, it's a little dark
Hey,
in there
Joe,
now.
how are you?
Where'd your lights
Good.
go?
How are you?
Looking cross-eyed there. What's going on? You need a you
need
have a
a-
little light?
Yeah, do you got a lamp on your desk or anything?
We can see a little bit better.
So I invited Joe. Oh, yeah, there we go. That's
you
better.
go.
Yeah,
That's
so I
better.
invited Joe on because you've been going through some medical stuff, and whenever you talk about it on the chat, people are always like, "What's going on with you? What's doing okay?" and so forth. So I decided, why not have you give your story on the podcast?
Yeah, it all started about 5 years ago when I quit drinking. One of the things that made the alcohol so appealing was the sugar in it.
Sure.
That's one thing that makes you drunker, is the higher the sugar
Yep,
content,
sure does.
the quicker, the harder you get drunk. Well, y'all know how much alcohol I was drinking at the end, and I quit cold turkey. But in doing so, I removed one way to get a sugar fix and had to replace it with another one. So I started buying ice cream, donuts, candy bars, and doing so put on a lot of weight.
It's very common.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've understood. Well, in doing so with all the sugar, I wound up with type 2 diabetes.
Okay.
And in addition to that, I also have what's called lymphedema. It's lymph fluid goes through your body that helps regulate things. And the only thing that keeps it moving through is muscles and open veins. If they don't have that, it's got to go somewhere. So it's sort of going out through my legs.
Okay.
I think
And
it was, pardon me?
I think what I've understand of it is you swell, right?
Yeah.
And it's very painful.
Yep, that's what edema
Yes.
is swelling. So it's lymph
Yeah.
lymph swelling is literally what lymphedema means. I had a friend who had that in middle school, actually.
Yeah, I remember that.
Yep.
And it started in April of 2022. It started in my left leg. Then it went to my right leg. The right leg, it went away. And my left leg's been a recurring problem ever since. Just recently, I wound up with a infection in my left foot. It's something that can only be gotten at a hospital. So I'm thinking that something possibly hitched a ride home with Melanie on her clothes, and I wound up with it.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, that happens a lot.
I've had cellulitis like 6 times in the last 4 years in both of my legs. We started off with putting an Una boot on my legs. That got rid of it on the right leg, but didn't get rid of it on the left. But after some time, it eventually did go away. So there was like just this little spot left on my heel. That got infected, and the infection spread. And I went to what's urgent care up there is called ICC down here.
Okay.
I went there. They gave me some antibiotics, so they had to make an appointment with my primary caregiver, and I did that. They referred me to infectious disease. Infectious disease referred me to a podiatrist over at wound care in a different hospital system that I did go to before. They suck. Different story.
I almost choked there. Thank you.
What's that?
I took a drink of water. You almost made me choke when you said that. Oh, thank you. All right. Anyway, well, it's great to see you, pal.
Yeah, good to see you too.
So are you doing
Anything
better?
going well?
What's that?
Are you doing better?
I'm getting there, yeah, after a second surgery to have not only my left foot redebrided and also the right foot, because I had the first time back in June, I had gangrene on my left foot.
I remember that.
Right foot, sorry.
Jesus.
Yep.
About that much on the right foot from the toes back. I got rid of that. But since there was that compromised skin, the lymphedema started going out that way too.
Oh, for God's sake.
And so now I go to wound care every Monday or every other Monday. And the doctor looks at my feet and says, yay or nay, if it's getting better or not. So the second time I had to go through surgery because it wasn't getting better. It was still infected around on the surface. So he had to go in and remove more skin from my foot.
Yikes.
You know what's so great about this for me? Honest to God, I had to take a call from from an attorney, my attorney, and that's why I was gone when you first got here. But you know what an honor it is for a listener, a long-time listener like yourself, to want to come on this show to talk about things like this. You trust us with that kind of information, and that's a hell of an honor. So I wanted to thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Yeah.
Did we take our break? Did we
Yes.
take
We
that?
did take a break.
Yep.
Yes.
Did you do Kristyn? How about the live script?
Yep, I did that.
Did it.
Oh, you did that? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably never. Now they'll probably never let me do it again because you're doing it.
You're going to
He
be
did
like,
a-
this new
he did a
guy
great
is
job.
great.
This new guy's a lot better than Tom. Thank you, Andy. Ruined my life.
One thing I don't know how to do is I read these and I have to like stop to breathe multiple times per script. But you don't do that. I don't know how you do that. I think I just have crappy
No, I don't
lungs.
do that. It's
Your lungs are crappy.
I think they're just crappy.
Maybe you should do some aerobic exercise.
Well, I don't know. It's like talking for 60 seconds straight. You're going to have to breathe. You'd
I will
think.
tell you why I can do that. You want to know why I can do that? And
You can breathe
the
through
same
his nose while he's talking.
Yeah, you can do that as well. But I have been in a band since I was 11 years old and on the radio since I was 19 years old. So basically learning to talk like that, I can talk for a long time without taking a breath.
You
There's
sure
no
can.
doubt about it. Oh, here we go.
Uh-oh.
A shot to the heart. Typical.
I'm just
Long-winded?
confirming.
Yes, Tommy is long-winded. So what else is happening, pal? Are things getting better, worse? I mean, what's the situation?
Oh, they're slowly getting better.
Good.
I've actually today was able to take a normal conventional shower on my own 2 feet and
Oh,
shave. So I don't look
Look
like
at
a
that.
Wookiee anymore.
nice.
Could you put your arm up like that again because you don't have a shirt on? Look at that muscle. Look at the size of that muscle. Ladies and gentlemen. There you go. Anyway, I'll get out of your way now. I promise.
Yeah.
But one of the reasons I wanted to have Joe on the show was because Joe has a GoFundMe for all his medical expenses.
Oh, you do?
And
Okay.
my policy is that we can have people doing that sort of thing, but they have to be on the show first. So I invited him
Okay.
on so he could tell his story, and then we could talk about the GoFundMe, and we can put the link in the description and that sort of thing
It's a great
after
idea.
today's show.
The last surgery I had on the 5th was $10,000.
Yeah, I don't doubt it.
What?
No, that's every surgery now. They're all I mean, the cost to have a baby is like $18,000 now.
You know, the weird thing to me is you see all this stuff on Instagram and X about how, I went to the doctor and I had a baby, and if I wasn't insured, it was $4,000, but if I'm
Yeah.
insured, it was $450,000.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Well, yeah,
But if you have insurance, you can't say, I don't want to run it through insurance.
it depends. Like, so Melissa goes to the chiropractor, and if we can bill it through insurance. But the chiropractor's like, if you don't bill it through insurance, you get like some massive discount.
Right.
And it's like, I don't know exactly what it is, but it has something to do with like insurance has these set prices. So it's like you get an
Right.
adjustment and the insurance says, oh, well, that was worth $100, even though the doctor thinks it was worth $50. So they have
Right.
to bill insurance $100 because that's what insurance says to do or something like that. I don't know. It's all
Yeah.
very dumb.
And they also don't get their money for months upon months upon months waiting for insurance companies to pay them.
Right.
Yeah. Or they'd rather have the money today.
Right.
That's why a lot of chiropractors are going to that subscription kind of service.
Yep.
Or just give us $75 a month and you can come in twice a month.
If we have any any listeners out there have any insurance adjusters or like medical people in their families or something, I'd be very interested to like get down to business when it comes to like, why is it that a doctor can say, yeah, I'll charge you $1,000, but I'm going to charge insurance $5,000? Like, do they have to? I think they have to for some reason.
Because
And-
it's all regulated by the government. And as we know, the government isn't on the taxpayer side.
Usually not.
No, it is not. So do you have insurance, Joe?
I do, and that's a funny thing. You guys are talking about prescriptions. I just got a prescription from my endocrinologist for Wegovy.
Oh,
If
yeah.
I use my insurance, it'll cost me like $400 per month.
Mm-hmm.
If I don't use insurance and I use, I looked it up on GoodRx because they're always saying you get a great discount here. Bullshit. If I use GoodRx, I'll be looking at $1,000 a month.
What?
Wow.
For that once a week shot. For a
$12,000 a year.
Yep.
Well, you're only supposed to use it for maximum 6 months, right? Or something like that.
No. Well, it's probably for weight loss, but mine's for
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
type 2 diabetes.
You use it for the original purpose.
Correct.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's insane.
This is a good question. Margaret said, "Are you going to the VA?
Not
Aren't they?
eligible.
How? Why not?
4 months shy of being totally completely eligible.
Oh.
God. Why do they do that? Did you serve your country or not?
Yeah.
8 years.
Unbelievable.
No, I'm sorry. 7 years and 8 months.
Oh, God.
So 7
How are you
years
not
isn't.
eligible?
You're not eligible after 7 years? You have to go through the full 8?
Oh,
Wow.
Yep.
Huh. Because that's 2 tours, right?
I was with the Minnesota National Guard, so it was a 6x2 tour.
Yeah.
I had 6 years of active duty, 2 years of inactive duty. But if my unit got called up, which it did,
Right,
but long after I was gone,
Yeah.
I get to go to war.
And it wasn't your decision to leave? They like.
Oh, it was my decision. I did my time. I got bored with it.
Yeah.
I ATS 9 months before 9/11.
Ooh.
Had I stayed in, my unit was one of the first ones to go over to the sandbox communications unit.
you know, the weird timing of this, and it does happen to me a lot. I just watched that movie they put out about 9/11, and
It's a documentary.
It's a
2013. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, I'm the first one that speaks on it, from what I understand. You know, that when they hit the tower with the 2 airplanes and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, what's the name of that movie called? It's a documentary movie about it. And it's called
Heartland.
Yeah, something about Heartland, something like that.
I don't know.
But that was quite an honor to be chosen, because we were talking on the air. So it was like Zepp and me and Terry Train, and I think it was the 3 of us who had commented on it. And that was, I don't know, but Joe, I will tell you something, and I'm very serious about this. You know what a hell of an honor it is for a listener to step up and go, I want to come on your show and talk about this. I mean, it is just a hell of an honor, because you used, not, I don't mean use, but you went to an old guy you've known for a long time, and you came on the show, and I really appreciate you trusting us for this kind of thing.
Well, it's also twofold here. Keep an eye. Watch your drinking, people. Don't end up like me.
No, yeah, there was a documentary on last night too about all the people in Hollywood who just drank themselves to death.
Oh yeah, especially in like the 50s and 60s. They were literally always drinking some sort of like strong liquor.
Well, we have a family member that has been going through the exact same thing.
Yeah.
He drank and drank and drank, and he would get diabetes, and then he would stop drinking, and he would lose some weight, and the diabetes would go away, and then, I'm cured. So drank and drank and drank and drank and gained all the weight back and all that stuff, and he ended up having a lot of health problems. But I think he's finally learned his lesson. But he does have some health problems because of it. It's a cumulative thing. You can't drink, forever. You can get away with it when you're a young kid, but you need to stop by 30.
Yep. Once again, by coincidence, I just watched the documentary last night. It was like a half-hour deal. And Joe, I'm sure you remember this whole situation, but Andre the Giant, the professional wrestler,
he could drink.
7'3" or 7'4", maybe he was. When he sat down and drank with his buddies, he would drink over 100 beers. 100.
I think he's the only human on earth that could outdrink me.
You think that's the one guy?
He probably ate 2 dozen eggs for breakfast.
Yeah,
too.
for real.
Yeah,
that's probably true.
Jeez.
Well, Joe, you got to hang in there, man. We are very honored you chose us to talk about this. You've been a friend of the show for a long time, and a friend of mine for a long time, and you are always welcome to come on this show, Pally.
Then let's get the information about your GoFundMe page.
Yep.
Yeah, easiest way, I think, just send me a link in the hidden chat there, and I'll put it on the description, and I'll put it on Facebook after the show's over.
Okay.
Because I don't think you're going to want to, like, say out the URL so people can type it into their browser.
Yeah.
Probably wouldn't be the easiest way to get them going there.
Pardon me?
Okay.
What was that, Andy?
I said probably wouldn't be the easiest way to get people going there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe we'll get it up. But hop on once in a while, Joe. Let us know how it's going, what's happening. You need some assistance, and I'm not talking about help here. You don't need any help. You're a big man. But you need some assistance. You are always welcome on this show, pal. You've been a supporter of mine for what, about 40 years now? It's about that long.
I started listening to you through my big brother, and
God.
And speaking of being losing family members, Emily, Margaret.
Yeah.
God. Unbelievable. All right.
Somebody just asked what your X handle is.
Yeah.
I could send that to Andy too.
Okay.
Sure.
So that'll be posted on the Facebook page, Andy, right?
Yeah, Facebook is like, we have an X account, but I don't really use it too frequently. Everything's on Facebook, I would say.
Somebody just responded. It might be Dark Strider.
Well, that's
Yeah.
one of my handles that I use for gaming.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. We've talked about that before.
Okay.
All right, young man, well, hang in there. You look healthy. That's all I have to tell you. You look very healthy,
Yeah.
so hang in there.
Keep
I'm
doing a
working
good
on
job.
it.
Yep.
You're always welcome, pal.
All right.
Thanks a lot.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
That is such an honor that listeners to this show for all those years and the KQ Morning Show for 40 years before that and all the rest of it, it's like their family.
Yeah.
I've known these people forever. It's wonderful.
We had Danelle in the chat. She said, I wonder how that guy named Paulie is doing. Remember, he used to call in every so often?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah, Paulie back in the day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. Paulie, if you're listening, why not join one of the chats one of these days?
Yeah.
We'll get it done. We better take a break here because, oh, my God, the clock is ticking.
It's doing pretty good. Yeah, we got Jesse in the other room, so as soon as we hit this break, I'll bring him on in.
Sounds
All right.
great. We'll be right back.
You're traveling through another dimension, a dimension not only of sight and sound, but of mind. That's a signpost up ahead. Your next stop, the Automotive Twilight Zone, one without sedans.
Is it really otherworldly that crossover and sport utilities have replaced sedans? I asked Brett Paul of the Valley Group of GM dealerships.
When you consider ease of entry, visibility, cargo space, and of course all-wheel drive traction, it really shouldn't be a surprise.
But what about things like style, comfort, luxury, and technology?
GMC has been refining this class of vehicles probably longer than any manufacturer. The new GMCs make sedans and minivans, the mom jeans, or black and white TVs of people haulers.
So what are the current GMC crossover and sport utility offerings?
See our sensibly priced Terrains, Acadias, and Yukons at Valley Buick GMC in Apple Valley and Valley GMC in Hastings.
A fifth dimension, beyond human knowledge, a place between light and shadow. The
Well,
known.
no, not really.
I should probably turn the mics on when I do
That's
that.
very helpful.
It's Tom for Wellshire Alzheimer's and Dementia Care Facilities. Wellshire Alzheimer and Dementia Care Facilities are a place where your loved one will live with pride and dignity. It was very important, obviously. If you care deeply about someone in your life, Wellshire is a place I highly recommend. Wellshire is a memory care focused facility that has a full nursing team, always staffed within the building 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have never used or relied on any staffing agencies. Wellshire Medina now accepting elderly waivers after 12 months of private pay. I know them personally, and they're a family-owned local company conveniently located right in Medina and Bloomington. They're the best staff memory care facility in the state. Wellshire is a robust community with activities 7 days a week. If your loved one is in need of a memory care facility, please get in touch with my friends at Wellshire. Set up a tour or learn more at wellshiremn.com. That's WEALSHIREMN.com.
Bloop.
I've had a couple of...
There's part of Jesse. I will pull the camera out as
You want
soon
me
as...
to move? I can jump over here. There we go.
Look at that. Oh, you look like you're...
Now,
doing
now
that.
I'm taking
honestly-
Andy out of the picture.
Honestly, this works fine, yeah.
That work okay?
Yeah, that works great.
We kind of look a little like brothers.
A little bit.
Yeah.
Another quick mention of this, and we shall move on. But I am so honored that our listeners reach out to us. Sometimes for a need, or some to say whatever. But the fact that he would reach out to us to talk about his health and all the rest of it, that's a hell of an honor, man. That is fantastic. So thank you again for that. And now we go to a guy. How many jobs do you have now?
I got plenty. I got plenty of jobs.
I got plenty.
I'm not bored, Tom.
I'm glad to hear
Therapist,
that.
mentor, comedian, reconciler.
Reconciler. Well, I understand that. So things have been good?
Yeah, things have been good. Things have been busy. Things have been good in the comedy world.
Love it.
Things have been good in the therapy world. And, there's no shortage of things to talk about in therapy right now, per always the case. But, last week was one of those weeks where every single therapy session tended to revolve around, certain things happening in society. It's really been something. How much has stuff been the focus on the show lately?
We've talked about it a bit, but the thing about that whole situation is, it's luckily we know people like you that have an inside look at it all, because it is so incredibly hideous what people are doing to one another. Yeah. I still am going through situations where people are trying to screw me out of things just because, you don't have that big show anymore? Okay, well, we'll just go after you then. I'm like, what?
Wow.
I supported your ass for 40 years. Shut up.
Joseph in the chat wants to know who you are, by the way.
My name is Tom Bernard.
Yeah, I was going to say, Tom, tell them about yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Jesse, how many years now? A couple of years you've been on the show.
I think we're probably at about 2.5 years that I've been coming on the show. So Jesse the Shrink is kind of a name that I go by. I'm a 20+ year licensed therapist, marriage and family therapist, and stand-up comedian, a producer of stand-up comedy shows. And so I think I first came on here about 2.5 years ago to promote my Jesse the Shrink's Midlife Crisis show. That was a comedy show, kind of touching on the theme of midlife and how crazy it is. And I have a way of kind of blending my worlds together. And then Tom, I remember in the first episode I was on with you, at the end, you laughed and you said, "Jesse, I'm sorry to say, but there's no way you're getting rid of me from now on." And so now
there you go.
No words could be truer. So here I am.
But can you imagine an average person having to listen to things you listen to, the turmoil and the strife and all the rest of it, and still be able to step up and be funny about other things, obviously, or some mix in there. Yeah. But that's a hell of a talent, and that's what I meant. You're never getting rid of me because, first of all, I think every American should go to a psychologist once in a while, psychiatrist, psychologist, whatever they want to do, because the world right now is as mean as I can ever remember. I wasn't alive in World War II. That was probably very mean. Yeah. But people are meaner now, particularly in Minnesota, than they've ever been. It's hideous.
Yeah, and that's and again, for people that haven't listened before, that tends to be a theme when I come on here a lot.
Yes, it does.
Because we have kind of this interesting, especially right now, it's really interesting because on the one hand, we can look at it and say, do things feel more tense now? Does this feel abnormal? And in a way, the answer is yes. The other side of the coin is, go back to any period of time. Yeah. Go back to the Civil War time, go back to Vietnam era, go back to World War II, go back to the Civil Rights Movement, go back to 9/11. There are always things within the atmosphere of where we're at where things are tense, but those things tend to change in different degrees. Sorry, Kathryn, you were going to say something.
No, I just think that Minnesota, ever since COVID hit, has just been I don't even know how to
adversarial
think of the change in just the political landscape. And I mean, I know that COVID opened up a big can of worms for fraud because there was all this COVID money, floating around and everybody was just helping themselves and people that needed it didn't get it. And, inflation went up by 20, 30%, and everybody started, having a harder time just making a living and paying their bills. And we're still in that situation where it's just stressful to be alive.
Right.
And then you add in some riots, and you add up political leaders trying to just stay in power at any cost. And it wears on a whole society. And it doesn't matter which side you're on, because everybody's just mad.
Yeah.
Everybody's pissed off about something, whether you believe that Walls is the savior of the universe or you think that he's implicit in the fraud. It doesn't matter which side you're on. It's still a shitty situation to be in. And it doesn't seem like they have any interest in stopping it.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I at least get a laugh out of it, because when I see Governor Walz trying to act like a tough guy, it makes me just laugh out loud. Yeah, you're a tough guy, okay?
Because he's kind of regardless of your political stuff, he seems more like kind of the sweet grandpa kind of, you know what I mean? Like, that's his temperament. And it's interesting when politicians, you can see what their temperament is. Some politicians, they're naturally a fighter. They're a warrior. Some are more of the sweet. And then when you see them, do you remember when Tim Pawlenty was our governor?
Yeah.
He seemed very much more of kind of the neighbor that you would like and get along with.
Shucks, gee whiz.
And then he ran for president, and you could see how they were trying to coach him on how to be the attack the enemy, be tough, and it didn't fit his personality.
He doesn't have that in his personality.
Great guy. Tim Pawlenty and Norm Coleman have become lifetime friends. And
I forgot about Norm Coleman. What is he? Whatever happened to him?
He's doing rather well.
He'd go corporate world kind of stuff. I
think he's working for a PAC or something.
Oh, is he?
Yeah.
Is he? Okay.
Huh.
I think so.
But that was another thing that's come up, in other times I've been on here. It's not too uncommon. It comes up is I feel comfortable saying, if you go back to political leaders, regardless of leaning, there is something, and I'll bring up social psychology again. I'm always going to preach that message when I come on here, by the way. If people out there are not familiar with what social psychology has taught us, I mean, even if you got and this is almost weird to say now, we're quickly into the AI world, but I can't too strongly advocate for like AI chatbots and stuff, because I know there's a lot of stuff that they're still working out with that. But I encourage people to start Googling, to start researching what has social psychology taught us about what we're all experiencing right now, because that was the most influential course I ever took. The sole purpose of that whole field of study was, it started with two main things. Number one, two big questions of why do groups of people react the way that they do. One, and this is pretty dark, but whatever, this is reality, is so one of the big cases was there was a woman, and I believe it was New York City, I could be wrong on that, but there was a woman decades ago who was being assaulted in the middle of the night.
The bystander effect,
in a big city. The bystander effect is... she's screaming out for help.
What was her name? It's bothering me now.
Yeah, if you want to look that up, because I forget some of the details, but she's in the middle of the city, it's at night. Clearly, if you look at how many people are living right there.
Kitty Genovese.
There you go.
Or Genovese. I don't know. I've only read it.
Okay, so the key on that one was literally nobody intervened, nobody called the police. Begs the question, why? So then they also looked at what happened with Nazi Germany when you had all of these well-intentioned, good German people that did not stop the fascism rise from happening. Why didn't they? What happened? From those two instances comes the field of social psychology to go, why do masses of people not intervene? Why do they not? Why do they conform? And if you start getting into that field of study, a lot of the stuff we talk about here on the show, a lot of stuff that a lot of people in society talk about, we start to find the answers of the why.
Yeah.
Even when you get into political leadership, of how are we being influenced by political leadership on the other side of the things? Why do you get people against each other like this? A lot of these things have been answered, and I wish to God that most of society would understand how all of this works, because then that brings me to, and I don't mean to be on a soapbox by saying this, but I think that right now it's really important. The best that we're able to, we have healthy conversations with each other.
Yeah.
Healthy conversations with each other. Like, can we please right now especially listen to each other and don't come at each other with what you need to understand is, right?
Right.
How often does that work well? What you need to understand is, how about instead let's start saying things like, here's what I'm noticing. Here's what it's making me think and feel. What are you thinking and feeling about these things?
Yeah, my favorite is when online you'll see someone ask, it's almost always a rhetorical question, of course, but you'll see someone ask, like, why does side A have belief X? And the comments are flooded with people from side B telling you why side A has belief X. It's not actually the people who believe the thing, it's people who don't believe it giving you bad reasons why people would believe it.
Oh, because they're evil. Or...
Yeah, exactly. It's always like, they just want to hurt people for no reason at all. And it's like, to believe that there are tens, hundreds of millions of people out there in America who just do what they do solely from malevolence. I mean, it's one of the most childish positions I think I've ever seen an adult take, but a lot of them take it.
Right.
Well, I have a question. It's going back to the COVID thing, which I think was the greatest social experiment that we've seen in my lifetime.
Yeah.
Okay, so you had the people that are like, okay, if everybody gets vaxxed, the vax keeps you from getting COVID. That's all there is to it. Then people that are vaxxed start getting COVID. Well, we never said that if you got vaxxed, you wouldn't get COVID. It's like, clearly you did, but all that gets scrubbed. And if somebody says, well, the vaccine doesn't work, I'm not going to get it. Well, then all of a sudden they're doxxed, or people don't believe them, or they're held up as some psycho, from another dimension. And then the social the things that they do socially, like, oh, maybe you don't have a job anymore. Nobody wants to talk to you any longer. You're excluded from all family things because you didn't get vaxxed. All of a sudden, the process becomes the punishment.
Yep.
You don't even have to have any proof. You don't have to have anything. All of a sudden, you're just being punished because you have a different belief, because no one will talk to you anymore.
Yeah, that's called shunning.
I believe that they've been using psychology against the population for so long now, because we've been doing social conditioning nonstop with all of these politicians with their, you see it on X or Facebook or anything. All of a sudden, you wake up one day and Israel's a horrible place. 5 months later, after that, all of a sudden, Israel's a good place. When you can't trust the media and you can't trust your leadership, what does that do to the psyche of the population? And how do you have a conversation with that?
Right. And I think that's exactly what's happening right now. Like, let's go back to social psychology stuff for a moment. Let's take anything that people are having contention with. So you just mentioned a lot of examples about COVID. Right now, a hot topic in Minnesota is ice, right? Like, we don't have a shortage of things to grab onto. If we grab onto the topic of ice right now, that's been the number one topic in my therapy sessions this past week. So isn't it fascinating that we have, and it really depends too also on where you're living right now. So we have examples of things that we see before our very eyes. We can see it, and this is what social psychology teaches us. Like, what do we see? And now, this may cause a little bit of a firestorm, but I think this is good, okay? Here's an example of, there was I don't know if you guys saw this in the news, but there was a 23-year-old U.S. citizen Muslim woman the other day, born right here in Minnesota, and they detained her, and they put her in a jail. Then they transferred her to the detention center at Fort Snelling, I think it was. They said that they were going to have pending charges of a felony, and then they released her, and there was no charges. So take that for a moment. I'm not making a political statement. Take that for a moment and go, so like social psychology says, do we see with our eyes what just happened? So there's the facts of what just happened. Now that we've seen it, what's the chatter that we're hearing from people who are anti-ICE? What's the chatter we're hearing from people who are in power and saying, ICE is only, because we are hearing this, ICE is only here doing what they're supposed to do. They're not violating any laws. Well, that case clearly was an example that that's not true. So now go over here and go over here, and we're getting this chatter going, here's how we're supposed to see this. We're getting this chatter saying, here's how we're supposed to see this. Social psychology with the social conformity stuff taught us that to the best of our ability, we need each individually to try to look at what we see happening and start with going, what does my internal thing say that as much as possible I can separate out what these people are saying and what are these people saying? Because then we can start having good, honest conversations with each other.
Right.
If we jump too quickly to going, anti-ICE people say this, and so therefore now that's how I see it, or if we go, the people who are pro-ICE are saying this, and therefore that's now how I see it, we're just becoming a tool for these different sides instead of actually just being able to have a good, genuine conversation with each other and try to figure out like what's really going on here.
Well, I think that's always been a thing, though, the cognitive shortcut of you pick a side and you just unwaveringly believe what that side says, because it's people don't have the time or energy to analyze every single data point they come across in day-to-day life. I mean, like, if you want like the absolute truth, like the truth of the universe, you would have to go through every arrest ICE has made in this state since they came here. I don't know how many that is, but I'm guessing it numbers well into the thousands. You'd have to pore over every single case. You'd have to talk to the people. You'd have to talk to the ICE agents as well. And it's like, who's going to do that? There's no way you could possibly do that. So you need a shortcut, but you can't go too far and just end up being like, all right, this is my side, and no matter what they say is the absolute truth. But that is, especially in a place like Minnesota, how a lot of people operate.
And I think there's a sense of security that can come with that.
Oh, yeah.
Right? Because there's a degree to which there are going to be some things that we just don't have the time to get into, and to have a trusted source to go, okay, so that's kind of what's going on. This helps make sense of it. It gives us a sense of security. Yeah. But now you get these messages coming from this side and then opposing messages from this side, and you have all these people in the population taking that because they don't have the time to look into it and they want a sense of security.
Did your mic just fall?
My mic?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, your mic did.
Oh. Okay.
Oh,
there
well, let
go.
me do that while he's
Thank
putting
you.
it back because he wants to hear this anyway.
They were muting me.
From at listener B5I, I think that says.
It does.
This guest is the best.
Yay.
I gotta hear that now.
Thank you, listener B51. And thank you, Tom. I was saying, I think you weren't here last time, Tom. And I'm trying to get used to how people interact here on the chat.
Yep.
So for people out there, it's still a struggle with my ADHD to know how to talk to you guys plus see that. But I want to learn how to do better at seeing what everybody is saying, because I know you all are a part of this, and I don't want it to feel like I'm ignoring all of you.
Well, last time you were here, it was like January 3rd or something like that, and neither of them were here.
Yep.
I had you in with Dave, and it was just the three of us, I believe.
Oh, that's right. Yeah,
Yep.
we had Alex and the grandkids.
Yeah,
down,
they were down there.
Oh yeah. That was a fun show, but it was weird not having you guys on here.
Why don't we take our last break and then come back and talk more?
Okay.
What do you think? We'll be right back. For Bradshaw and Bryant, Michael Bryant. Michael, what's up?
Dealing with another case where a person gave a statement to the adjuster because they thought the person was really friendly.
Is that a good idea?
Well, the problem is they know the law when they call you up. And while you're trying to be fair and you're trying to get help, the reality is there are questions you get asked that the way you answer them make a big difference. And people put themselves in trouble. And when they aren't in trouble, they didn't do anything wrong, but suddenly the adjuster's got a statement that can blow up their case completely.
What has caused people to be so untrustworthy, I guess is the best way I could put it? They take advantage.
Well, insurance companies have hired adjusters whose job it is to deal with unrepresented people. So they're supposed to kind of lure them in, call them every day, see how they're doing, and people are like, oh, I'm doing pretty good. Where the reality is they've kind of adjusted to their problem that they've got going on. So it's not that they're completely better, but the way they say it gets to be a problem. And that's why having somebody who can explain your rights, represent you, make sure that you understand the law before you give a statement can make a big difference in your case.
Michael Bryant, Bradshaw and Bryant. Ever wanted to see some of our most beautiful national parks? Of course you have, because I have. National parks and monuments in the most amazing way you can. I got a trip for you that I'm telling you must be a part of it. Through my friends at Heart of the North Tours. It's the Southwest National Parks and Monuments Tour happening this April. Features the Grand Canyon, Hoover Dam, Bryce Canyon, Arches National Park, Zion National Park, and so much more. Heart of the North Tours has a reputation for developing these fantastic tours that include airfare, lodging, bus tours, and so much more. For more information, go to heartofthenorthtours.com, of course, heartofthenorthtours.com, or call 833-424-2700 to speak to Mike, who is a total pro at coordinating these tours. We got to have him on the show again very soon.
Absolutely.
He does a great job. It all happens April 18th through the 25th, and there are limited spots available. So book now. It's a trip of a lifetime that you won't want to miss. We're rocking out, man.
Getting back to what you were talking about before and, trying to stay informed. I mean, that used to be what a journalist was for.
Yeah, but was
now,
it though?
And now we've got bias. Yes, it was supposed to be that they would interview this side, interview that side, tell you what each side said, and they wouldn't make an opinion about it. They would just tell you what they said.
I don't know. When are we talking though?
Now it's like they don't even bother going over to the other side. They just do one side, and that's it. So what does that do to a society when you don't know where to turn for a fact?
So that is one of the things, to go back to, Googling, asking AI, what has social psychology taught us about those things right there, is go back to those two cases I mentioned. One of the things is that when it studied the rise of fascism in Germany, is one of the problems that happened is that the populace started to get these drastically conflicting things about what was happening in reality, and eventually resulted in the population going, well, how are we supposed to know what to believe?
Yeah.
Right.
And whether that happens not strategically, it just happens as a phenomenon within society, or whether it's powers that be that have a strategy, I hear it all the time from people now, and I both understand it and I feel disheartened, because I think in addition to social psychology, if people can really do their best to utilize critical thinking, we have the ability, because another theme I bring up on here a lot is our biases. We're wired with biases. They're hardwired. None of us can say we're not biased. We can say it, but it's not true. We're all wired with biases. They're survival mechanisms, right?
Yep.
So the key is to understand how biases work, because if we understand them, we can do a better job of taking news information that comes our way, and we can start to go with critical thinking. What is it that is coming from this news source where I can identify the biases in it? And that can be something as subtle as what's the adjectives they're using to describe an event. If I look at certain adjectives in a headline, or I start to read an article and I see certain adjectives, I'm able to go, that's not neutral. That's not, Kathryn, what you're talking about with some old school journalism where it was, let's do this independently, present the information, then people can come to their own conclusions. But Andy, I'm kind of curious, you were saying that's not always been the case. Well, what were you thinking there?
I remember as early as my teenage years, Fox News was the crazy conservative fundy place, and CNN was the communist news network.
Yeah.
And so, this is almost 30 years ago. So it's like, at what point could you take any given person and say, here's a news network, and they'd be like, yes, by unbiased information?
Well, Kathryn, when you were saying what you were saying, we can go obviously back before Fox News and CNN. That was a modern phenomenon when it was happening. You suddenly had 24 hours news stations.
Right.
They had things that they needed to fill the air. We started to get more opinionated things coming from those stations. Do you kind of recall going back before the cable news? Did news sources genuinely seem to be neutral?
Not that I remember.
Or did you just think they were neutral because you were young?
It was less biased. It was
okay.
at one time.
Okay.
I feel like everything now seems to be about money, clicks, likes, and you can say them, and people say the most outrageous things just to get the clicks and get the likes. And it's easy to respond emotionally to these outrageous things that people say, which, that's how they make their money. A lot of people on social media are making a ton of money just by being outrageous.
Right. Right.
It is true.
If I can interject quickly, Judy, the website is heartofthenorthtours.com.
Good. Thank you, Andy. I appreciate that.
Yes, thank you.
We got that in there.
Blame baby Jessica for the 24-hour news I see.
Yeah, the 24-hour news cycle has been a disaster.
Wasn't
absolutely.
that the girl in the well?
Well, yeah, I think that was a girl in the well.
Did your mic just fall again?
God, I'm sorry. I got to quit.
What is with you and the mic?
Here, I move too much. I'm always moving around. Yeah. Well, and then I know it wasn't the beginning of it, but 9/11, I had to teach myself with 9/11 to eventually turn off the news because, you know, a year and a half later they would still be showing live footage of the smoke coming up, and they would have. And the thing would be that it was an urgent news alert. And eventually I used the critical thinking to go, this is not an urgent news alert. This is that they don't want us to stop.
Yeah, news can't be breaking for a year straight. It's just not possible.
And that was another thing from social psychology is, you know, there's CBS News has a thing on their website where it's a section specifically devoted to the positive news of the day. And I guarantee you, hardly anybody ever clicks on that or reads that, because that's what psychology has taught us, and that's why they keep giving us the other stuff, because we want to click on that stuff.
Well,
we want the rage bait.
My takeaway from I've thought about this a lot, like you've talked about, like we got all these voices talking at us, and they all want us to join their side and that sort of thing, and we've just got so much information from everywhere, and I think that a human was never meant to be burdened with all of humanity's problems all at once.
Yeah.
We didn't evolve to have to care about 8 billion other people. That's just not possible. I mean, even the world's largest ant colony, they're probably not worrying about 8 billion other ants. But that's what we're expected to do right now. We're expected to be like, oh, have you heard about the war in this place? Have you heard about the unrest, the famine, that sort of thing? And it's like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, there's horrible things happening, and it would be great if they weren't happening, but what is me knowing about a famine in Uganda going to do for anyone except make me less happy?
And that's a theme that comes up in therapy sessions too, is something I will tell my clients, and it depends on who the client is, what their temperament is, what they have going on in their life. On the one hand, I think it's good that we have enough people in society that are paying attention to all these things that are happening. Because if we don't have enough people paying attention, people in power can do more bad things, right? We can be manipulated more. But also, I have therapy clients where they can get so overwhelmed, they're getting sucked into every news article. To your point, Andy, if they're losing sleep because of what's happening in Uganda and what's happening in Greenland and what's happening in the Twin Cities, and they're just overwhelmed with everything, that they're having to take FMLA because they can't work because they're getting overwhelmed with panic attacks. For them, I want to encourage them, like for you, you might need to be pulling back on the information you're taking in, because if you really peel all of that away, what's going on right now in your individual world, you don't have to be worrying about all that stuff. But there's people in society who can pay attention to everything, and it doesn't overwhelm them.
The problem, though, is if you're part of certain circles not caring about anything, and when I say anything, I mean any given thing happening, as in you have to care about all of it, or else they will come at you and say, why don't you care about this? Why aren't you as good a person as I am? I care about all this. Why can't you?
Yeah.
Right. I got to clear up one thing here. Because it's from, what was it? It moved on. Somebody just posted, "You're exactly right, Andy."
Who was that? I'm going to put it on screen because it's very important to have that up there. There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
She said that when I was talking about the whole, like, we weren't meant to know everything in the world thing, I think.
I just loved it. I loved it, the whole thing.
Yeah, and the other Andy in the hidden chat says the purity test. And yeah, exactly. I mean, like, I don't think anyone is seeking the kind of life where they are so worried about everything that they can't function. I think that they are forced into that sort of life by other people because they're not as pure. And they're like, oh, well, if being a good person means caring about everything, well, I'm a good person, therefore I must care about everything.
Right. And there's the must.
Yep,
the musts and the shoulds. And you know, I don't know how much time we have left, so I want to kind of interject, like, in this context that, in a way, I'm repeating something I said earlier, but two things that stood out to me last week. One, I had a 2.5-hour conversation with my mom on the phone till like 3 a.m.
Wow.
And it was amazing, and I will never forget it. And here's why, is because on that side of the family is the way I'll say it. Historically, growing up, there was a lot of relatives that would push and preach the political stuff that they had.
Mm-hmm.
And so as a result, me and my mom don't talk politics. It's just a thing, right? Like, let's not even get into all of that stuff. But
Well,
we
let
had...
me say that
Yeah, go ahead.
very, very quickly. I have two relatives because of politics will have not talked to me in years.
20 years,
And
I'd
these
say, for one of them.
One of them's been 20 years, and it's all about whether it's Republican or Democrat. It's like, what?
Yeah.
I am not that involved in politics, whipped up ones. I got a little on the left side, got a little on the right side. I agree with some of this, that, and the other thing. I've been staying away from politics because it's too much. It's very Hollywood right now. The national politics is very Hollywood.
Well, it's all manipulative.
Yeah, it really is. So, but we do have to get going because it's the people are like, I got to get back to work.
Well, so the only thing I'll say then to cap that one off is just the lesson from that one is we listened to each other in that conversation.
Yeah.
It was very much a, here's what this makes me think. What do you think about that? Here's what this makes me think. It was such a wonderful conversation. And the last thing is that the next night in a comedy show, I had audience members during my performance because this stuff started to come up. People in the audience started to ask me, how were you able to have that conversation with your mom? And that was fascinating in a stand-up comedy show because what it told me is people out there are wondering, how can we have civil conversations with each other right now about this? So I just want everybody to know we can do it. And I don't want to be on a soapbox saying it, but if we can be listening to each other and being respectful of each other and say things like, what are you seeing and how does this affect you? What are you thinking? Let's not do what you need to see is what you need to understand is. It's a real big turnoff, and it just reinforces the whole thing of, we're battling each other. So
It does. But thank you, everybody, for staying with us.
Good advice.
When can you come back in? Because I think this is very important right now. So having you back on.
I'll say this could be a 6-hour conversation, and we'd get to the end of it, and we would be like, can we do another hour? So whenever you want me back, Tom, there's a lot to talk about, and I'm happy to be a part of the conversation.
Well, boy, it's Wednesday, like another week. That'd be pretty good.
I'll be back next Wednesday if you want.
People want to hear it. Andy, are we good? Are we good?
No, we're actually booked out quite a while. I think it'll be the second to last or last Wednesday of February. So about a month out, yeah.
Well, a month out, we can handle that.
Yeah.
But then we can maybe set it up for shorter periods between the talks. I think this is very
It'd be
important.
interesting to see how things are going in a month.
Yeah, that's
I know. That's going to feel like 2 years from now.
That's true, yeah.
I'll get back here as soon as I can, you guys. Tom and Kathryn, it was great seeing both of you. And take care of everybody that's out there.
And by the way, everybody in the comment part of this whole thing, you guys are just amazing. I love your take on all of the stuff because it's not like, that's bullshit. No, it's just like, well, the comments have been fantastic.
Yay.
And I just wanted to thank people for that.
Margaret says I had to quit Facebook for a while. Yeah, there's a reason I don't have any friends on Facebook anymore. When 2020 happened, I literally went and unfriended everybody on Facebook. I was like, no, I'm done with all the opinions from everywhere. I don't need them.
Yeah.
Joseph Nielsen, don't get me started.
Don't get me started.
All right, that's going to do it. But Jesse, you got to come back very soon. No question about it.
Will do.
And we will talk to everyone tomorrow.
Bye.